Good morning, everybody. It is 8:10 a.m. It is October 29th. Welcome to my channel. Now, the markets yesterday was horrible. Watching paint dry. I basically set up, improved some charting settings, and wasn't really interested in yesterday's market. That was pretty horrible. Um, the only guess I have was that this week has huge data coming up. We have core PCE, we have non-farm payrolls and unemployment, and we have monster mega cap earnings. Okay, today we have AMD and Google after the close. Okay, tomorrow's Microsoft, Meta, and then Thursday's Amazon, Apple. Okay, so we have mega cap earnings this week. Yesterday I feel was just a day to digest Friday, and there's just so much going to happen after the close every day this week based on those earnings. So that's what's going on, and we have the election coming up as well. So, without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile and volume profile to find structure in the markets, along with supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. That's my edge. Just lets me see the market in a certain way that helps me put on trades. Okay, that's how I choose to see the market. All right. So hopefully you join me every day. Join your boy 8:10 a.m. All right, have a cup of coffee, have a cup of tea, put me on in the car. You're going to get the lowdown on what happened yesterday, what's going on in the market, the story. You're going to get the news this morning, the leaders and the laggards. All right, we'll go over earnings, we'll go over market news, economic calendar, and then we'll go over daily charts. All right, and then the main event, usually at 8:30 a.m., I analyze the ES and NASDAQ futures, and we come up with long and short trade scenarios. Okay, and once I do that, right, the market opens up, presents new data, right? Presents new data. That's where I look at my market internals. And of course, whoa, pancake. And of course, we put risk on. That's how we decide to put risk on. All right, now you can check me out, check my videos out. I do post them on my X account at Gonzo719. Of course, check out my YouTube shorts. They're very educational videos. All right, you can also find me at Gonzo719 Trader on TikTok. Gonzo719 TikTok. Wow, pancake. Pancake is back. Uh, Welcome back, Pancake. Pacific Northwest in the house here. All right, so that's my little spiel. All right, so why don't we get right into futures watch list here and see what's going on in this market. Now, let's be honest, this month has been weird, and it's basically because of this election that's looming November 5th next week. Okay, it's making people not want to hold the bag. That's why we're not getting followed through. We're just in this big balance area. Okay, normal markets don't move like this, right? Markets are all fighting each other. They're in balance. I went over charts yesterday when I didn't have my plugins, so no one really saw that. But if you want to check that video out yesterday, I went in a little bit how I look at the market. You might want to check that out. All right, let's go to the futures watch list and let's see what's going on. Now, Bitcoin making a move. Ether's up 4.93%. Bitcoin's over 70K, up 2.39. Crude, big. I just saw it was the biggest drop in 2 years. Gap down over easing tensions. All right, now it's pushing back up 1.40. Okay, I saw could be loading up on strategic petroleum reserve at this price. We'll see. Silver's up 1.04%. 10-year yield continues to rise over 4.2. It's that 4.3 yield. Interesting. That 10-year yield. Okay. Gold up 0.34. The dollar is up 0.31. Nasdaq is down 0.06. ES down 0.16. Russell's down 0.27. 30-year bonds being sold down 0.32. The Dow is down 0.32. Okay. The VIX is at 20.13. We're back at 20. Okay, down 0.98%. Again, this is more hedging than fear. All right, moving on to the Mag 7 Plus. To the Mag 7 Plus. Boom. All right, who's leading here? No surprise. No surprise. Coinbase following Bitcoin, up 3% at 222, almost 223. AMD is up 0.49. They report earnings after the close. Google also, Alphabet also reports after the close, up 0.32. Okay. Now, if is there any laggards today? Yes. Nvidia is down 0.44. Okay. Apple's down 0.52. They report after Thursday's close. Boeing is down 1%. Okay. Boeing is down 1%. Now, moving on, we had some earnings this morning. We'll talk about them in a second. Moving on to the top sector stocks. Let's check those out. Leading the pack, Eli Lilly. They report tomorrow before the open. Okay, they're only up 0.21. All right. Exxon's getting a little love with crude. A little love, up 0.13. Now, is there laggards here? There is. And it really is Home Depot, down 0.75. I don't quite know why. I don't quite know why yet. Okay. They report earnings. Let's see. They report earnings the 12th of November. All right. So, but the laggard here. Now, McDonald's had an E. coli and quarter pounders, but then they just had earnings, right? And I saw that their international sales is not doing very good. All right, even though I believe they beat. So they are down 2.32%. That is taking down the Dow a little more. Okay. So that's what's going on there. All right. Let's look at our swing trade list. Who's leading the pack there? Donald Trump. Donald Trump stock up 19.74%. Wow. I believe the tides are turning, and I think the market believes that Trump is going to win. That's why Bitcoin is rising. He's a big fan of Bitcoin. Okay. Now, MicroStrategy is just moves crazy with Bitcoin. So they are up 5.07%. SOFI reported earnings this morning. They're up 3.31. Riot, obviously Bitcoin related. Mara, Bitcoin related, up 2.32. Bitcoin ETF, obviously, enough said. BABA's up 2.23. Hood is up 1.51. All right. Moving on to laggard. Crocs reported earnings and they were not good, down 13.47%. Ford is down 6.95%. JetBlue reported earnings, they were not good, down 6.15. Now I want to say that is, I always sometimes forget these tickers. Is that Skechers? I can't remember. Anyway, Toll Brothers down 3.72. Nextera Energy, I saw they did some kind of 1 billion or something like that with their money. We'll get into it later. Lennar, so home builders, interesting. Lennar and Toll Brothers are down. I don't know why yet. Okay. PayPal had earnings. They were not good, down 2.51. Royal Caribbean Cruise Line had also earnings. They obviously were not good, down 2.49. Fortinet down 1.18. Carnival Cruise Lines down 0.96. Norwegian Cruise Lines down 0.88. In sympathy, right? In sympathy, you get Royal Caribbean. Okay. That is what's going on today in our swing trade list. Now we can move back here and move to the sectors, the guts of the market here. Let's look at how they're looking. Semiconductors are leading, but really there's no leader. Okay, up 0.14, that's not much. Followed by healthcare, up 0.13. Lagging here, staples down 0.11, financials down 0.19, and utilities with Nextera Energy down 0.42, and discretionary down 0.47, mainly probably due to Home Depot. Okay, but that rounds out our sectors. All right, I think we can move on here, and we can go into the economic calendar and see what's on tap today. Let's see here today. We have 8:30. We have goods, trades, balance, retail inventories, wholesale. They don't really move markets that much. 9 a.m. you get Case-Shiller home price. 9 a.m. that shouldn't really move markets too much. 10 a.m. you have JOLTS jobs and consumer confidence. So unless there's a super duper setup, 9:35 to 9:50, I will be in it. Otherwise, I wait after 10 a.m. to get to look at that news. You have API crude right at 4:30. That's pretty much the schedule. Let me see if there's any other news here. Yes, we have news here. So, give me a second here while I put this up there. And we'll just look at some news. Here we go. So, we have some news. McDonald's global sales fell. So, you talk about the international sales fall more than expected on muted demand. Pfizer raises profit forecast after beating third quarter estimates. It says preview. Apple set for biggest revenue jump in 2 years on iPhone demand in China. Apple's expected to report its biggest quarterly revenue jump. Wow. It said now Intel set for big drop in quarterly revenue as chipmaker struggles to bounce back. Here's the Ford shares fall as supply snags and costs hurt profit forecast. Ford Motor shares fell after the automaker tempered its full year profit forecast, blaming supplier disruptions and warranty costs amid a global price war fueled by overcapacity. Okay. Let's go into other news. Adidas saw strong growth in the Greater China in the third quarter, while sales in North America, excluding Yeezy shoes, were up on the year thanks to improving brand image, the company said. Okay, let's see what else. Talked about Ford, talked about McDonald's. Royal Caribbean, the cruise company, raised its annual funds from operations forecast. They're beating third quarter estimates. Hold on, I'm reading the wrong one. Royal Caribbean Cruises, the cruise company, raised its annual profit forecast for the fourth time this year, boosted by its cruise operators' multiple ticket price hikes and higher demand for cruises to private destinations and cooler spots. The company expects annual adjusted earnings per share 11.57 to 11.62, compared with its early expectation of profits between 11.35. The company expects fourth quarter adjusted profit for between 1.4 and 1.45, compared to estimates of 1.58. All right. NextEra Energy, here's that news. Utility firm NextEra Energy said on Monday it intends to raise $1.5 billion through the sale of equity units to fund new projects. The fundraise would be second such initiative by the company this year, primarily to invest in its energy and power projects. Okay. Now it looks like Coinbase got a price target raise. JP Morgan raised its target price to 196 from 181. Alrighty. I think that talks about that stuff. All right, now let's go to upgrades, downgrades, and let's see who's getting upgraded here. For Solar, upgraded from a neutral to a buy. That's about it there. Downgrades, we got Trade Desk downgraded from a neutral to a sell. Well, to a sell. Initiations, let's see here. Nothing really important there. Price target changes. Let's see. Sometimes this is not that great. Yeah, let's see here. Target raise for T-Mobile, 209 to 239. Target raise for Roku, 60 to 65. Let's see. Planet Fitness got a target raise. ON got a bunch of target raises, 70 to 75 and 63 to 64. What else here? A lot of target raises today. All right, target lowered. Let's see here. Interesting. And the semi got a target lowered. That's about it. Alrighty. I think we can just look at the earnings now. and we'll move on. All right, so like I said, we already know who reported, talked about it already, but AMD and Alphabet, Google, Snap, Chipotle, Visa, First Solar, Reddit, all report today after the close. So that should move the markets. So AMD, obviously, that's technology, that's semis, and Google, that is communication sector. All right. So that's what's going on in earnings. Tomorrow morning, we got Eli Lilly, Caterpillar, Humana, ADP, Santander. That's all before the open tomorrow. All right. And then you got Microsoft and Meta after the closing, Coinbase and Hood, Etsy, Riot, Roku, Carvana, Starbucks. All right. That is that. I think we're done with that. All right. I think we're done with that. I think we go right into daily charts. All right. Let's look at those dailies together. Not sure if Rosita is here. I'm glad Pancake is here today. If she or he is still here. Let's see here. All right. Let's look at this chart. We have our SPY daily charts. I'm not even sure if I did this. Let's do it again. Okay. So you can see we're in this big range from like 586 to like 574. Okay. So we're not doing much this market. All right. Now look at these black candles, which you could look at them as red candles. It's just, but look what's going on. You have, obviously these are black, which means negative, which means it opened and closed, opened higher, closed lower, right? But look, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. All on days where it closed lower than the open. But you're still making lower highs. That is very weird, right? So this is what we did yesterday. So look, there's Friday. Friday's range tried to break out, failed, but look, yesterday was horrible day. You're in the middle of the previous session that you're just asking for chop, and that's what we got. All right, so where are we at now? We are at basically 580. So now we are gapping down a little bit. Okay, gapping down. Let's look at the live book of futures. You could just see this big range we're just in, right? And look at these wicks. Selling, 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 right? And we're just right here. We're just in the middle of the muddle. It's just not great trade location. You got big earnings this week, big data this week. This is really, starts it. Earnings after the close today. All right, and then it's just thunder and lightning for the rest of the week. Okay? So this is just a whole lot of garbage. I mean, this is just not great. So I'd be interested if we hit 58.30 down here. Get some extreme in here. Get out of this. This is just chop. Let's move on to the Qs. All right, so the Qs, look at that. Opened all the way up here and then just boom. Right? Now look at that. Right in the middle of this garbage, this range. I keep on saying garbage. Apologize for the garbage net thing, but it is just, you're in the middle of chop and it's just not great. All right, you're at 495. Let's call it 495.30. You are right at yesterday's close right now. Yesterday's close. Okay, so still inside Friday. All right, let's look at the live look of futures here. You can just see, look at this chop. I mean, this is just, look, from here. All right, we move up, we move down, we move up, we move down, we move up, we move down. It's just, oh my God. All right, it's kind of hitting the 90 minute daily, and it's just this just tells me, yeah, there's a big event coming. No one knows what to do. No one wants to hold the bag, and that's called the election. And we have also big data this week with big mega cap earnings, right? That's what this tells me. So I have to be very patient and wait for some very, very, very key levels to get hit. Otherwise, I'm asking to get chopped, or I'm asking for get break-even trades, you know. And for scalpers, yes, scalpers always can make money in any market, right? For me, I'm not necessarily a scalper, so yeah, it's kind of just watching paint dry here. All right, moving on to the triple-headed monster. Got to talk about it. Okay, let's look at this triple-headed. This 10-year yield is just insane. It's really something to behold here. All right, so you kind of had a little range, popped up, pushing up now. This is that 4.28 yield over the 200-day moving average. Is this really going to go all the way to 4.4 yield? Is it really? Okay. Now I did do a little starter position, and that market probably realized that I did that. So, and then, not financial advice here, but I did buy some TLT yesterday. All right, this is just super overextended, and we're cutting rates. Okay, so I will add the TLT if we probably hit up here, but this is crazy, right? But we do have economic data coming out this week, core PCE, and we have unemployment and non-farm payroll. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I mean, sooner or later, people are going to buy bonds. I mean, that's just how it works. Okay. So until then, the 10-year yield keeps rising. All right. Now, let's look at the second head of the monster, which is the dollar. The dollar's kind of been following suit here. It's not breaking out of this range like the 10-year yield did, but look, over the 200-day moving average has pretty stiff resistance here at 104.64. So we have to see. We have to see what that dollar does. That just means the euro's falling, the yen is falling, okay? And the VIX, that's our fear gauge, but in this case, it's really our hedge gauge because this is not fear. You don't go to all-time highs or around there and you have fear. This is hedge, okay? And we're staying over 20. Okay, this should rise with the election, and then once the election goes past it, this VIX should fall. Just because people are going to take their hedges off. Now, how long after the election, I don't know, but it could stay wild a little bit until it settles down, and eventually, I believe, should fall. People take their hedges off because then we'll know who won, and then people will trade accordingly. Okay. All right, so that is our triple-headed monster. All right, let's move over to the main event. It's all about the main event now. Market profile, volume profile. Let's check it out. All righty, here we go. And this is just not a great environment for trading right now. Meaning my style, more or less. But still, even in swing trading, right? Like it's just a lot of chop. It's let's look at structure so we can just see, and I can explain to you. All right, so we do have a very balanced profile here. Now it's not one volume node, high volume node that's pointing out, but you have two. But basically, if I just do this broad brush, it's a balanced profile. And prices here, okay, and you have value areas right here. 70% of the trade, we're in value area, right? We're right at the most traded price of the week. Okay, this is the most traded price of the month. So whenever you're inside here, it's a chop zone. Okay, so luckily, we are kind of at somewhat of an extreme here at the most traded price of the last week. So right now the market's pushing off of it. Really the extreme here is month to day anchor VF 58.31. All right, really down to like in this area would be an extreme. Okay, extreme on the other end is like 59.01. for right now, and then 59.15 up here. Those have been the extremes of our balance, but the tight range right now, like I said, is this 58.30 basically to 59. That's the big range from Friday. And look, inside overnight session, inside, that's crazy. Inside the overnight session, you never even hit the overnight high, the overnight low. That happens usually in 97% of sessions. That was an anomaly yesterday. And then now you're pushing down here, right? So to me, this is setting up for possibly a nice long to get defended to go to here. And I don't want to be in here trading. I don't want to enter anywhere really in here. You're just asking for chop. It's really what you're doing. And it wouldn't care if someone told me, hey, I traded there and I made money. Great. Great. Good job. You flipped the right side of the coin, basically, is what that would mean. Okay, unless you're a scalper, right? Okay, so that's what we have, really, in this market. And you can see one thing, right? If you don't care about any indicator, let's look at this. It's the month to day anchor VWAP. Look at this line. Look how flat this is going back to there. You see how flat that is? That just tells you right there. Flat. Balance, right? So, or short-term moving average will show you the same thing, right? Like a 9 EMA and a daily. It should be more or less flat. So, so this is what's going on here, right? Now, what levels do we have to look at? Well, 58.48 is the most traded price of the week. That's pretty important. Okay, it's kind of holding support right now. And then the other one, let's see here. You do have a weak high. Okay, we do have a weak high. You got a double poor high here in the overnight. That happens to be the most traded price of yesterday. And guess what? It happens to be value area high as well. So confluence here at 58.70. Okay, 58.70. So so 58.70 overnight high, 58.48. That's the area I want to concentrate in. Now, more or less, what I would say is, let's say we come down here, I would more or less like to be long to then hit that and try to go to the most traded price of the month, which is 58.86. Okay, I want to avoid trying to trade in here. Like I said, this chop zone, I want to be on the edge, right? So that's that, right? What else do we have to look at? There's really not a lot here, man. So you got two walls here. You got your 58.86, the most traded price of the last month, which is more powerful. And then you have your most traded price of the week here. Like I said, I think we battle in between these areas, okay? And inside is chop. It's really all I can really say, okay? All right, I think we're ready for some scenarios here. Let's get right into it. All right. All right, Pancake. All right. I don't know if G-Man with us today. G-Man, maybe. Maybe not Rosita. Maybe not Rosita either, huh? All right. Well, the show continues. All right, the show continues. And let's go right to the bullish case right here. We're going to go right for the bull case. All right, so here, right here, this area, I want to see defended by the bulls. It's really as simple as that gets, okay? Because we know we have shorts from here, shorts from here, shorts from here, shorts from here, getting paid. Okay, they're getting paid right now. And now we're at a key level. So all I want to know is if this level is defended, and we could even go like this, boop. But if we find acceptance above, I want to be long. And look, there's our week high, 58.70. Has supply there, but the most trades happened there on yesterday's session. Okay, most trades, and we know is also value area high. So if this gets broken, yeah, I can definitely see us moving in, probably testing most traded price of the month, which is 58.86. Okay, then you got a lot of supply overhead, right? How much do we get over this? I don't know. If we find a little acceptance above this, we could try to test Friday's highs around 5,900. Okay, 5,900 is a week high. You can see it from all the way back here. Draw a line across. That's pretty significant highs. If we break that, yeah, we're gonna go and test this 59.15. That's also weak highs all the way over here. All right, and who knows? Do I see this happening today? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But that's kind of all I would be, interested in. Now, if we did one of these, tested an extreme, hit month-to-day view up, and let's say we started to do this, well, yeah, I might even be interested to go long, take some profit here, and see if we can do the same thing. Okay. All right. Let's look at the short side. So we're here at this level, right? Okay. Now the only thing, not the only thing, one thing I'm going to look for, obviously this is a key level, remember, and this is our key level. Overnight session is very key for us today. So if you can break through this and start to hold, well, you still got month-to-day view up 58.31. If you can take that out, maybe we do test 5,800. Okay. All right. Now the other thing that could happen, you can push up right into this week high. Sellers want to defend here, and I think this would be a little harder, but it could happen. Boom, you could do this, roll over, right? And maybe this is all she wrote for the day. Now, one other case here, right? Because you have this month, uh, uh, most traded price of the month right here, the D86. So obviously price could go all the way up here. That's a lot of supply to cut through and do one of these, and then we go right back here. Okay, because these are the extreme edges right here of this little micro balance. Right now, I like the long, right? Don't know how the market's going to open up, but that's what I'm liking. I'd lean more towards a long right now because I think there's too much indecision, and you want to go on the edge, the opposite, right? Do I think everybody just wants to all out short this market when AMD and Google are reporting? No. And now, if that does happen, just give you one thing caveat. If this does happen like this, I see a recovery go right back to here before the market's closed. I've seen that before. I'm like, oh my god, I didn't think it was gonna move before these earnings, and it does, but then it covers right back, right? All right, let's move on to the Nasdaq. Let's move on to that Nasdaq, and then we'll wrap it up. So here's our Nasdaq. Here's our beautiful Nasdaq here. And let's just see what's been going on with this Nasdaq. Okay, let's look at the profile. Profile looks different, right? Let's look at our structure. All right, so it's kind of like a double distribution. Got some movement here, then you got some pocket here. It's a gap. There's a gap right here that's not been filled. Then we got this distribution up here. Okay, now notice the big difference in the ES and the NASDAQ. Remember the ES, here's price in the NASDAQ. Remember the ES is in between the most traded price of the month and and the most traded price of the week. So like ES price is in this chop zone, right? And the NASDAQ is above these key levels. So to me, that's a feather in the cap for the NASDAQ. Now, the most traded price of the 24-hour session is right here. This could change that, and what would happen is you would be in chop. Okay, so let me explain. This is the most traded price of the week currently in the real-time trading hours, right? This definitely can become it, and this would move up to here, and guess what? If this moves up to here, then you have the most traded price of the month here. Guess what you're in? Chop. Okay, so I'm going to take back a little bit of what I said. We are basically in chop as well in the NASDAQ. Okay, even though it is holding, this is different, holding the most traded price of the month. You can see it came right down here. Possibly because of the tech earnings that were ready to come into our faces this week. Okay, all right. So yesterday kind of opened up and boop, and just kind of meandered a lot and then closed down here, right? Kind of closed down here. Okay. And the overnight session's very balanced. Very balanced. Okay. Very, very balanced. So, we got some key levels here. Okay, let's talk about those key levels. Now, you do have overnight high in the most traded price of yesterday. That's a week high, confluence high, around, let's call it 20555. Now, this could change over into the most traded price of the week. So that's a very key area. Now, that's the overnight high. Okay, so that's very important. Now, you do have a week low here, 204.60 to 204.50. Okay, this is Friday's lows and the overnight lows. They're pretty much equal, and they're right on top of the most traded price of the month. That needs to be defended by bulls. You also have a large demand zone here, okay, that was tested in the overnight. First time it was tested, right there, and it got bought up. So this area right here is definitely a buy zone for buyers to defend it. This supply with the week high here of 205.55 is a sell zone for sellers, right? And the buyers want to break that out. Okay, buyers want to buy that. Okay, now let's see if there's any other similar. I don't really think so. I think the overnight high and low are definitely the place you wanna play here. Okay, I don't really see anything else to note. Let's see if there's a big level down here. Now, of course, this is the most traded price of the week, around 203.50, and this area here just has to be defended, right? But like I said, this could move up to here, and this could become just chop zone. So we'll have to see. Like I said, I'm interested in defending here. Okay, now let's get right into scenarios. Okay, let's get right in there. Let's do it. Let's do it. And we go with the bull. All right, so we talked about this week low from 204.60 to 204.50. It's got demand. What else do you have? Overnight low. What else do you have? Most traded price of the month. The most traded price of the month is 204.37. Okay, right there. So we come down here. That will not be easy to cut through. So I want to see if we come down here, what do we do? If we find lower high, I definitely want to look at being long, especially if the market supports it, and make our way up. Okay, make our way up. And where we're going to test? The overnight highs, the most traded price of yesterday. Okay, and this week today VWAP. If we can break this, I feel like we can go we can test yesterday's highs. Okay, and let's see what happens here. Maybe we go to the end of the supply here. All right. Now, like I said, we have tech earnings reporting with AMD and Google. So, really interested. I like this setup. And you just have to be patient down here to see what price does, because price can fool you. Okay, price can fool you. Okay, that's really what I'm interested in here. And there's another demand zone right below it. We could even dip. Whoop, if we quickly recovered and held, we could do the same thing. It's kind of, yeah, it's kind of like the only thing I think I'd be interested in. Okay. Now, let's go to the bear side. Now, we do have supply here in that week high. Okay. Now, I would say this area is very, very highly traded, right, in the last month. You can see it here by the monthly profile, this orange here. You can just see how much this has been traded with, right? So that area is going to be very tough to cut through. That's why I like the long here, okay? In the short, yeah, you need a super weak market to cut through that. Okay, so I'm just setting that up, just making sure you understand that. Okay, making sure you understand it. So for me, do I want to short down here? Probably not. It's probably not very favorable. Okay, now the only thing that I could see is, you have this weak high in supply right here. I want to see what sellers do here. If we can kind of like boom and start, oh, lower high, yeah, I can see us possibly testing this area. Okay. Now, honestly, if this market tends to push up into this area, into this supply, now you probably have more of my attention. Okay. And if we start making lower highs, then we can come back to the mean here. I'd probably be more interested in that. Okay. Now, of course, let's talk about it. If we were able to cut through this double demand and the most traded price of the month and the week, and it hit this monthly view up and hold under here, yeah, we have a potential to go all the way down to 201. Do I think that's possible? Anything's possible. Do I think it's likely? No. It's just so much trading volume here. Okay. And that's my scenarios. All right. And we can look at these nodes maybe in a better light here. Okay. Let's get some maybe white here. And let's look at the NASDAQ. And you can see it right here. Here's price now. Here's this pack of volume I was talking about. Okay, this is where we're at now. This is where is below us. All right. Another way to look at it, we'll look at it here. And these are just, you can just see right here. This is where price is now. And this is that high volume node right here that I'm talking about, that the market would have to cut through to get to here. Okay. So just pointing that out to you guys. But that will do it. That does it for me today. Okay. And again, today I'm going to be very patient and just sit back. Let an extreme level, especially what I've been doing of late, trying to do is like when the market is like, let me show you this one quick. I want to show you something that's very important, and it kept me off the market yesterday. Okay. Let's show you this. Hold on. Let me put it up here. The market internals. Yesterday, check out the video. I went and just show you guys what I look at. So this market internals right here. Okay. Look at this market internals. This right here represents these sectors, and it plots them on a graph for me. Okay. Look at the crap here. That is chop. That means there was no strength or weakness in that market yesterday. I don't care if the market went down. It's going down not on very weak market. It just was selling. It wasn't like, oh my God, this market's so weak. Because look at the sectors. Tech was down. That's the leading sector, 0.70. That's why you got mainly some weakness, right? But if look at financials, was up 0.68. Healthcare was only down 0.11. And you got consumer discretionary was down 0.56. So it's very mixed, right? That's very mixed. Now, let's push out. Look at other days. You see when there's strength or weakness, what those levels look like, right? Look at that. This is Friday. This is Friday, started hot, and then look at that weakness here. Look how far that went down, right? Let's zoom in a little bit. Look at the levels in these internals when the market is weak. Look at yesterday. What the heck? That looks like a comb, right? That may tell me you're not going to get a big move up or down. It's not happening. Okay, so today I'm going to be very paying close attention to that. All right, so that is it for me, folks. That's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope I gave you some golden nuggets today. All right. As always, show me some love. Smash that like button for me. Smash the like button for me. All right. Now, every day I do this at 8:10 a.m. Hopefully, you come join me. Okay. Trying to build up my subscribers. Come join me 8:10 a.m. Let your boy give you the recap, the lowdown on the market, the story of the market, the whole shebang. All right. Hopefully, you come join me. All right. And as always, you can follow me on X. That is at Gonzo719. And of course, you can check out my YouTube shorts with my educational trading videos. I still owe you guys some videos. This month my computer has given me problems. I switched trading. There's a lot of things that changed for me this month, which has delayed a lot of things for me, my computer and all this stuff. So apologize for that. You could always follow me at Gonzo719 Trader on TikTok. Okay. All right, we got our plan, folks. Stay green. No trade is a trade. All right. And I'll see everybody